I kind of feel like we have to discuss, let me put this down. I feel like we have to discuss what's happening with Megadeth a little bit. Of course, a lot of you wanted me to talk about the losses of Shawn and Chris Broderick, the drummer and the guitarist for the band, that has prompted talks that perhaps there would be a reunion of the Rust in Peace era Megadeth. Of course, Dave Mustaine and Dave Ellefson still remain, and considering potentially having that old Rust in Peace lineup back, including Marty Friedman and Nick Menza, is of course something that's on everybody's mind, and it seems like this sort of opens up the door for it a little bit. And it's a nice thought. It's a great thought. In fact, even though this is a pretty big loss for Dave and the band and for Megadeth, it did have a certain amount of perhaps cautious optimism by fans, considering of these hopes. But that's not actually why we're here. We're actually here because Dave's bad week continued the next night, and it was a little bit more serious, something that's actually a lot more tragic. And that's the fact that San Diego police have potentially, in fact they're almost confirming that they have found the body of his mother-in-law, who wandered away from a campsite. She suffers from Alzheimer's, or suffered from Alzheimer's disease. She's in her mid-70s, and she had wandered away in early October, and they believe that they have found her, and it's obviously not good. You know, you find somebody after that long, and you're finding the body. You're not saying that you found the person. That is indication enough that the individual, in this case Dave Mustaine's mother-in-law, has left us. She is deceased. I wouldn't traditionally do a video based around this. I would do it more so based around the loss of the two members of the band, considering that's what's directly musically related. But considering these two events happened nearly concurrently, it's actually more important for us to speak about both. Dave, of course, has taken a lot of flack in recent years. Super Collider was not what a lot of people wanted it to be, but some people still enjoyed it. But losing two members of your band is kind of it's something that happens in heavy metal, where it is at times almost a revolving door for some bands, and Megadeth has had their long history of band members that have left and that have come, whether they have come back or just entered the fold for the first and only time. But also losing your mother-in-law and finally having some closure on that, while that may be a bit comforting to know that she has been found, it's sobering whenever you consider the end result. Something that Dave, I'm sure, and his family were prepared to face, but still it doesn't make it any easier. I feel as though I, at times, have been a bit hard on Dave, but that's because I've been a big fan for a long time and just sort of expect something. I don't know. It's really kind of stupid, but this is a time of great loss for the Mustaine family. This is a time of great loss for Dave. Dave now has to kind of put his search for the remaining members of his band on hold to participate in the final rites and the burial of his mother-in-law. All that I can say is based around the secondary idea there is, Dave, we're all thinking about you, man. That's rough. It's a terrible situation. It's an unfortunate situation. It's one that nobody, no family member of any family wishes upon themselves or anybody else. It's something that you just hope every single day that you wake up and breathe air never ever happens. The same way that you hope every day that you wake up and breathe air that you don't walk out onto the street and get hit by a car, or the same way that you hope that nobody that you love is taken from you via anything. So we are definitely all thinking about you. Now, I know some of you want me to sort of maybe render my thoughts about what I think will happen for Megadeth from here on out, and I find it to be it would be kind of disrespectful for me to try to play all-knowing matter of the universe and attempt to predict what will occur. all that I can say in regard to that is to give Dave time to build a band that is going to be fantastic from here on out. He's going to get qualified musicians. There have already been some names that have been slung around, including Dave Lombardo, formerly of Slayer, which is definitely a pretty cool fit. I would really enjoy that. And, of course, everybody is hoping that it is actually the Rest in Peace reunion, and we're going to have Nick Menza and Marty Friedman back in the fold, which would honestly also be incredible, but I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, Dave, make it happen. All I'm going to say is, trust in Dave. I understand that there have been some things that maybe have soured you toward him in the past couple of years, whatever that might be for you in particular, fan of Megadeth or fan of heavy metal. But this is a guy that's always gotten capable people. Shawn and Chris Broderick were both extremely capable individuals, and they did a very good job while they were a member of Megadeth. He's gotten great people in the past. They are still a very talented, capable, and fantastic band, both live and for the most part in the studios. Give Dave time. Give Dave time. This is a lot more sobering than originally planned. And I'm almost glad that I've waited in order to post this and record this, because I would have felt a tremendous amount of disrespect that would have been enforced on my behalf and done on my behalf had I made the video and posted it and then this sobering news come out. And I have to make another video where we obviously express our condolences toward Dave and his family, while also just feeling kind of like a jerk where, 24 hours before that we were just hoping, talking about our hopes and dreams whenever it came to a Dream Megadeth lineup. But it's been a rough week for the Mustaine family. It's been a rough week for Dave. Rough week for Megadeth. But they'll come back. All your droogies are still out here, Dave. We're all thinking about you. We're all hoping the best for you and your family. We're wishing you well. And hopefully this is a time of your life that you can recover from with some grace and with some reflection. And we'll get back to work. We'll talk about a record here soon, hopefully, and have a good time and everything like that. Everybody is in our memories. Thanks, Dave, for the music from the past. We're here for you in this rough time. That's what counts. The music will take care of itself. Thanks, guys.